Jane Stark is a popular bag and luggage brand here on King Street in downtown Charleston. Today, I talk one-on-one with one of the co-owners, Jess Nicoles, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Jess Nicoles.
What's up, Quintin? How are you?
I'm doing great.
It's so good to see you.
Good seeing you. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you for having me back.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited to be here.
And I know you're obviously the owner of Jane Stark.
I am, yes.
Which is basically a bag and luggage brand.
Yep, yeah.
So what's new, what's now with Jane Stark?
Okay, what's new? Well, we've been doing a lot of really fun, I've even got one right here. It's close prop.
Yes.
So we're doing a lot more of these like little bags that you can kind of throw on as a crossbody in fun colorways and bright colors and things. This one is actually called a grid stop fabric. So it's super, super sturdy. It's a little more of like a fancy technical fabric. So we're kind of just experimenting with more small things that, you know, try to keep the price point low so that everything becomes a little more accessible for everybody.
So what is that price point right now that will make everything accessible for you all?
You know, I like that like $100 or under $100 range, or maybe just like a smidge over. I think that kind of, I think when people see $100 or a little less than $100, it becomes a lot more.
Wow.
Like I can, that's a thing I can scrape off.
Scrape off.
Yeah.
And what are those other small things that people are actually buying right now?
The fanny pack is a big one. It's, I mean, you can wear it as a crossbody too, but that's a thing that sells a lot, especially in like fun custom colorways. We have a little short-handled tote we call the Woodbine tote, which is people love that one to take like to the beach or like for a picnic. We've got this is our wine tote right here. So this one's $90, and that's probably the most popular thing we sell. We sell more of that than anything.
Wow.
So.
And why is that popular now?
I think because it's like, you know, it's just a weird time where like nobody knows what's happening. Like, is there a recession looming, or like what's my job doing? And everything's kind of just everybody's holding on a little more tight. I think luxury items aren't necessarily falling by the wayside, but you know, people are being more careful with their spending. And so we've been trying really hard to like make more items that are approachable.
And you talk about those items being approachable. So when it comes to the economy and the recession, how are you all making sure that you're staying within your own budget?
Oh man, it's tough, but you know, it's just little things like we don't buy, you know, like the fancier version of the thing that we used to get. Not necessarily in terms of the items that we're using to make things, but just like in the back of house, like we don't need the expensive pens, and we, you know, but we keep kind of the staff tight but super functional. So we've got a really great crew of people. We keep trying to, you know, pay them properly, but maybe just not have as many people around all the time, and just, you know, make good choices. Try to find a way. I think if you like can find a way to sell more of a lesser priced item, you're gonna make a lot more money than if you just sell one of like a really expensive item.
So what are those items that you're selling that are obviously less for you all to make?
The wine tote's the perfect one. Any of our, like the Franklin tote, which has a long handle, like it's mostly the canvas bags that don't have a lot of different materials. Those are huge for people because they're an easy thing to pick up. They're a universal item, and you know, people keep loving them and coming back to them, and especially making them in like a lot of fun colors. Then you can start with the safe color and then move into say the orange or the hot pink.
So what are those other safe colors that are really popular with your customers?
The safe colors that are popular are like navy, olive green, and khaki or natural. Those tend to be the ones that hit the best. Sometimes black, but that's mostly like folks will come down from New York, and it's always the people from New York are like, I need an all black bag. So we keep those around for our visiting friends.
So you're visiting friends. So how many people come from out of town just to come to your shop?
Not necessarily just to come from our shop, but like a lot. We get a lot of tourist traffic being right here on King Street. Which is cool. It definitely keeps us alive and bouncy.
Yes. So what else has kept you alive in Belmsey over the past couple of years, now that you've been in this location?
Oh man, I think, well, it is that. It's all the tourists coming in, but it's also like the support of our friends, the people who keep coming back for like birthday presents and holiday gifts and like Valentine's and that sort of thing. People who keep us as their like, you know, important purchase touchstone. That's what keeps us pushing forward.
And pushing forward, you have, as you mentioned, a staff, but you say it's tight. How many people do you have on staff right now?
Right now we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. 7 people on staff right now.
Wow. In order to push forward, Jess, how do you keep moving forward with that staff?
I think keep them happy, you know, like treat them with kindness and respect, bring them into the design process and the, you know, like give them a voice when it comes to bringing new items onto the floor. Also, you know, buy them cookies or ice cream a lot. we do like staff birthdays where we buy everybody lunch, just little things. It's like what we're able to do, and we give a really good staff discounts.
Yes, that's very
so that
important.
Helps too, right?
Absolutely. And you talk about the design process. What is the biggest difference about the design process now that you're here on King Street?
It's still always just focusing on what folks want who are walking by. We've always kind of let our customers tell us what they're into. You know, we started making backpacks because people were asking for backpacks all the time, or we started making things with zippers because people asked for zippers all the time. So
what are they requesting right now?
Right now they are requesting a lot of these like little things that they can carry on, you know, small trips. We just started making a really big zippered tote because people were asking us all the time for a zippered tote. And then we have a duffel bag that we always made in cordura, which is kind of like a nylon-y material. But people kept wanting it in our wax canvas with leather, so we just started doing that as well. So that is like a fancy item that we added to the
list. So what are those interesting things that people have actually asked you to make that you're like, oh, I don't think we can make it?
Well, the other day somebody asked us for like a caddy for their matcha setup. Like they wanted us to make a leather caddy for like, I guess there's a whole like situation involved in making matcha, and they wanted us to prototype something for that. So.
Wow, that's amazing. And let me ask you, because we were sitting here behind your wall, but what old things are hanging on the wall and what new things are actually on the way?
The old things, I mean, the wine tote, the Franklin tote, which is this one right here.
Oh yeah.
The briefcase, these have all been around for a long time. We've got a lot of new leather bags, and a few kind of smaller leather items on the way. We've got like a little kid backpack on the way because I have a 2-year-old, so we got to cater to him. And what else is on the way? A messenger bag made out of the cordura. So something like small and lightweight with a flap that's, you know, simple and like easy to throw on when you want to go like ride your bike or whatever.
Yes.
A very hands-free item that isn't a backpack.
So which one of these items, Jess, actually describes you?
It describes me. I think the thing that I've identified with the most recently is the little kid backpack. I immediately made myself one in like very bright colors.
Yes.
It's cute and little. I made it with like longer straps to fit a grown-up, and I love that thing. I also am really excited about the messenger bag. That thing I've had in my head for a long time, but never actually put pen to paper. So I'm looking forward to that.
What else is in your head right now that you want to put to pen and paper?
I want to see like a leather backpack on the floor, maybe even a leather duffel bag.
Yes, ma'am.
So those are on the fancier side, but we've still always been like thinking about it. Oh, and also a little leather, like a hip pouch or a belt bag. So those are things. None of those will come from my mind. They'll come from Briggs. He's our leather person. But I want to see him.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. In trending, let's ask this. Well, what are those trends that you're looking at right now that you want to bring to your brand?
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know that I'm really good at following trends. Like the stuff that is in my Instagram feed is all like shoes and extremely fancy clothing, why I don't know. But I think in terms of trends, we will stick with like color trends for sure, you know, and I feel like we're moving this year into these like bright pops of like a corally orange or purple, even like some rich reds and things. And so like I think like really the bright side of jewel tones will be a big thing that we kind of stick with this year. So
wow.
Yeah.
So which one of these trends actually matches your entire brand's vision?
I think right now the color trend matches our brand's vision, because we started out, I think, really muted, and I think people have been vibing more with the bright colors and like being able to show their personality in a bag that they pick. So I think that is becoming like us and what we do.
And what is the biggest difference from the time that you started this vision to right now?
It has a lot to do with that, the color and the personality. I think when we started, it was very muted. It was like charcoal gray and navy and olive, and we didn't really branch out very much. And then we sort of started like getting little pinpricks of color coming through, and then eventually it kind of took over. People just really, they walk by the window and they can see all these bright things up, and they identify with that. And so, you know, everybody has like a color that they love, and so if they're like, oh, this isn't really for me, but then they like look over to the corner and they see that one bright little bit of like canary yellow, they're like, wait a minute, that's my thing.
Yes.
So that's how we get them.
That's how we get them. So how else will you hope to get them in the next 5 to 10 years?
Next 5 to 10 years, I think just keep putting out things that people want and need. You know, as people's like carrying needs change, we keep hitting into that window for them. When people went back to work, we brought our briefcase back, and you know, just kind of changed that to make it more functional. So
that's
just
really
keep listening.
Keep listening.
Yeah.
And what are you listening to when it comes to Charleston and fashion?
We are listening to the seasons, you know, the what people have on their own backs, and like just what moves us, I guess.
So what is really moving Jay Stark?
What's moving us is just, I think making things that people love that last for a really long time, keeping the people here, you know, employed and well paid, and like keeping our little kid happy and fed.
yes.
Yeah.
And what type of bags does he like?
He has the little kid backpack right now, and he loves that, and he also loves the fanny pack. He loves to like come in and grab all the fanny packs and put them on himself. It's really cool.
I'm sure he'll be on staff soon.
Yeah, exactly. He already knows how to do some of these things. So
yes. So if anybody wants to come into the store, or if they can't make it into the store, how can we purchase one of your products?
You can go to www.starkmade.com. That's STARKMADE, and everything that we have in here is also online.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What does Jay Stark mean to you?
Jay Stark, the brand, means, I think, just... Man, that's such a good question, and it's so hard to like distill. I think it means taking a beautiful product and giving it the opportunity to make a great career for someone, or you know, a great lifetime like heirloom for someone. It's just like something that's going to last forever, whether it's you working here or you carrying it forever. That's what it means.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of career and carrying it on forever, let's talk about expansion. Where do you want to expand next to?
Oh man, that's such a good question. We actually were thinking about opening a shop right before the pandemic hit. We were looking at Atlanta, and I don't know that Atlanta is still the place, but it would be cool to. I think for that it was like it's close and easy to get to, but. It would be really cool to have a shop maybe there, or like Nashville or someplace. Yeah. I think we'd fit really well in Nashville.
I was just in Nashville last week.
Oh, did you love it?
I love the city. That was my third time
cool.
back.
It's so cool.
And we have a restaurant there, so it's an amazing
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's so cool.
I love that city.
I love it. It's great.
Yes.
It's great.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. Let's make it happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Jess Nicoles with Jay Stark, thank you so much for your time. And again,
Thank you.
welcome back to Quintin's Schoolhouse.
I love doing it. Thank you so much, Quintin.
You're welcome. Anytime.